Action! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm trying this for like the umpteenth time. It's my eyebrow tutorial. These are my favorite products to use on a daily basis for my eyebrows. It's actually quite simple. It doesn't take a lot of product. It takes quite some practice. I look back at my pictures now, how I've done my eyebrows before, and this is probably my favorite way. It's just a learning curve. I went through a lot of different stages. Some of them were like very dark and I didn't know better, but now I use this and I absolutely love it. I love how my eyebrows look. I think I finally found my style and my shape. So if you want to see how I do my eyebrows, just keep on watching. My favorite thing to use for my eyebrows, at least when I'm going for something a little bit sharper and more precise, is the Pomade by Anastasia. I have an old one, well, not old, but, and it's gonna last you a very long time because you use such little product. So it is an investment. I think it's like $20, but it's gonna last a very long time. I've had mine, I think, for almost a year, and I just repurchased a new one yesterday because I knew I was doing this film today. And I can tell you right now that it does start to dry out because the consistency is so different. Over time, I've gotten used to how dry this one is. And now that I used the new one, it's so creamy and smooth. It's so much easier to use. And then I use the Anastasia, and this has no number. Oh, wonderful. Can I see it? No. But I will link it down below. I got it from Sephora as well. So these are the two things that I use for my actual eyebrows. And then to clean up my eyebrows, and this is an option, you don't have to do this, I use any concealer and just kind of a flat brush, and I'll show you what I do with that. My eyebrows are the first thing I do when I'm doing my makeup. I pretty much will do my eyebrows and then I moisturize and stuff, because sometimes if you get lotion on it, it becomes really slippery and I don't get the sharpness that I want. That's just personal preference. That's how I do it, but you find what works best for you. And I had a mirror and I put it back in. So I'm gonna grab very little product on my brush, and you can see that it's just like, it's a really nice soft paste. And when I use the cap, and I just kind of flatten it because you want to get little product. It's easier to add product, but if you have too much, it's very difficult to take off. And the first thing I do is you want to look at your eyebrow shape and your eye. And this is just more or less an idea to know. This part of your eyebrow should line up with your nose. See, it lines up. And then you're gonna go at an angle, and right over your pupil, you should kind of hit your arch and your highest point. And then you're gonna go to the end of your eye. I'm trying not to mess up my makeup. And that's where more or less it should end. My eyebrows are a little sparse at the end, so I do fill it in and it'll kind of almost get there. But I like them sometimes a little shorter. I've been doing that lately. It's just about what you like and what works with your style and the way you like your makeup to look. So I start at the baseline, and what I do is that this is the center. I'm gonna go a little bit further in and I'm gonna slightly create a little line. It's kind of hard to talk and do your eyebrows at the same time, so bear with me. And you see I darkened it a little bit. I do have my eyebrows are there. Should have brushed them out first. I'm not like super sparse, but I do like to fill them in, and I like a little bit more natural in the front where it looks a little sparse and then more filled in the back. So once I put in that first line, I'm gonna come more to the center and create with soft strokes like this, just little. You want it to be almost like if they were hair strokes. That's what you're going for. And then I created that first line, as you can see. Just softly adding. Okay. Now, I usually just go back to my top. You can see there's still a little bit of product there. And I just kind of flatten my brush on both sides. And I grab products from there. And now I'm gonna do my little arch. And this is how I find easiest. I will go up here my highest point and I will bring it down softly. And then I'm gonna go up here, and once again I'm not going all the way up here because I don't want a very dark eyebrow. I want it to be a little more sparse in the front. So I'm gonna go in about halfway and just kind of softly create that brush stroke and meet it where the arch is. So now I have a little bit of an outline. I'm gonna go back and get a little bit more pomade. And now I'm gonna create this line. I like it to be pretty sharp and thin at the end, just my style. If I want a more natural eyebrow, I will use more of a pencil because it gives you a softer look, but when I want like more sharpness, this is what I'm using, which is pretty much everyday. Eyebrows are like my favorite. It's like the one thing. And then I just, right under where your arch is and where your high point is, I just went in and I softly created. So the only thing missing pretty much is a little piece here that hasn't been met. I'm gonna go back in. And now I'm just gonna connect from the middle part and create that soft arch. So now I pretty much have an outline. What happens is you cannot leave this like this because if you take any pictures, especially with flash, as soon as that flash hits you, you're gonna see all your skin on the inside where it's not filled. So you go back in using the same cap. It takes very little product. And I'm just gonna fill in. I'm gonna start back here and just softly creating little brush strokes and fill it in. I'm not touching this area just yet. I'll show you how I do that. So I'm just gonna keep filling it in, and then you can like brush it out and it'll kind of blend it in. Going back and forth. This is probably what takes me the longest in my makeup routine. Like on Monday through Friday, my makeup for work, this is what takes me the longest time. Because I don't do eye makeup during the week, but I do, of course, fill in my eyebrows. So I'm gonna fill all of this in, creating soft strokes, brush it out. And now I'm gonna go into the front, very little product, and I just come where that line that we created, you're just gonna softly brush up, very, very soft, so it gives you a more sparse, natural look. And you comb it up and over to the side. And you wanna make sure it's blended, you don't want any sharp lines in it. And then I can see that there's a little piece up here that's not as sharp as I want, so I'm gonna go back in and just fill that in. Now I see back here that I have like an extra little bump that I wouldn't want. So what I do with that, let me close this off. We're done with this pretty much. I'm gonna grab some concealer, a tiny little bit, and I just put like tiny. And I grab my flat brush. And I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna sharpen it. So very lightly create a little more definition and under. And I created I didn't fix this one. I created something a little bit more sharp. When you're using something, just like when you're highlighting and contouring, highlight will bring it up. So if you want your eyebrows to be a little bit more highlighted and be like have more attention, you just go under very softly. This is why I do this before my makeup. And then I bring it down to make sure it's blended. And it creates that very sharp line. It's just a matter of preference. I like this. So I'm gonna do the other eyebrow, which I didn't get to do. Right under. Clean it up. This also helps if you have any little hairs that you haven't tweezed or you haven't gone to do your eyebrows. This will help you cover it up and give you a sharpness. And to help and make sure that your eyebrows stay in place all day, you can just add a little hairspray to your brush and just kind of brush it in, and they'll stay in place all day long and they won't move. Let's go back and see if we hit. So this one we knew we would hit. I didn't go too far in. And then when you go over, I definitely hit my arch and my high point, and then at the end you see my tail barely makes it, but it makes it. So that's just to give you an idea of where you should have your 3 points of your eyebrows. This is how I do my eyebrows on a daily basis. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!